Coming up, the TPP, will it be reborn in the USA? And 9,000 homes still without power in Auckland. But let's begin on the Gold Coast, where mountain biker Sam Gaze has been fined and forced to apologise for his bad sportsmanship less than 24 hours after winning gold at the Commonwealth Games. 22-year-old Gaze, who narrowly won gold over teammate Anton Cooper, it was an extraordinary race, has apologised for calling Cooper out and flipping the bird at him, for not stopping when he was getting a puncture fix. South African Alan Hatherley was right behind both riders in third place. Cycling's governing body has fined Gaze for his hand gesture, or was a finger gesture really. Our sports reporter Joe Porter was at the mountain biking yesterday, and a short time ago Joe spoke with both Anton Cooper and Sam Gaze and began by asking Sam Gaze about his behaviour.
Yesterday was a very tough situation for me. It was the first time in my life that I've really dealt with this amount of pressure, coming off the first World Cup and this, and in the heat of the moment I made a call or a gesture that was not, in my words, what I would call, manly. And I'm regretfully sorry about what that caused and how it took away from what that really special performance that we did with the mountain bike race. And it's something I've had to face up to, and it's a great life lesson of, what I need to do being a 22-year-old growing up in this world. And I'm not talking about, going an inch faster on the bike, I'm talking about being a man. And that's what this is what I'm having to learn.
What did you say to Anton last night?
It was a private conversation, and it was an apology that he deserved it, and I needed to have it before I made everything else right, There's no hiding the fact Anton rode an incredible race yesterday. He's an incredible athlete, and, he's got even incredible palmares back at home. And so, I'm grateful that he's been so understanding about it.
And you gave him an unreserved apology?
Of course.
And how's your relationship moving forward? Do you think you can move on from this, of course?
Of course, he understands that he's been really great with it, and he understands that I get a bit hot-headed sometimes, and that's something I've got to work on and make myself a better as a person before I make myself faster.
People make mistakes. It's how they learn from those that generally defines them as a man or a woman?
Yes, of course, and it's a mistake that I've had to live with, and I'm looking forward to working through it, and I'm hoping that people can see the rationality behind the fact that I was a guy chasing my dream, and unfortunately I made a gesture that spoiled what I did on a bike today, but I'm proud. Even if people aren't proud of me wearing the silver fern, I'm proud to wear the silver fern, and I'm glad that I was able to put on a good result. And
obviously the road race now, so you can quickly move on.
I hope so. It's very important for me, for my, I was going to sleep better tonight, making sure that I, right my wrongs. This isn't who I am as a person, and I'm completely embarrassed of myself for how this betrayed me. And I feel like if I make sure that I get this right, then I'll be able to sleep better at night, and that's when I can start to perform again.
All right, Anton, so obviously a little bit of a shame to have the comments made last night detract from a great result, Kiwi 1-2 in the mountain biking. I'm assuming you've accepted Sam's apology?
Well, yeah, it took the gloss off it a bit, but he came and apologised to me last night, and I hope it's genuine and sincere. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, and we'll move forward. We're going to see a lot more of each other, so it's a lot easier to get along with each other than not, and we'll see the day as a day that was really successful for New Zealand mountain biking, and like Glasgow, it's put us on the map again as a mountain bike nation.
Well, how did you feel last night when you heard those comments of Sam's for the first time?
Well, I didn't realise what had actually really happened, and after the finish line I was a bit confused because I could obviously sense that something wasn't right, and I thought, well, I had no ill feelings, so I was a bit confused by it, and then I saw photos and stuff coming out. I was like, oh, far out, well, whatever. But I couldn't change anything myself. There's moments in the race where I'd go, well, actually, even when he had the stop, I didn't realise that it was a minor like CO2. I thought it was a full wheel change, and so when I was up the top of the hill, I was kind of like, play it safe and just like nurse her home, and then suddenly I saw Sam like right back, so I figured it mustn't have been anything too time consuming at that point. We both had moments where we had to claw our way back, whether it was chasing a 20-second gap back in the race or a seesaw at times, and he timed it really well at the end and caught me before the top of the last climb, and it was all racing, good quality racing, and it made for a great spectacle. I'm sure it was just, like I said, it was a shame it took the shine off it, but the apology's been accepted, and we'll go on from here.
obviously everyone in the world can't get on, but what's your relationship like with Sam?
Oh, I mean, it's tough being competitors, and sport brings out the best and worst in people. It really does, and most people will never understand what it's like to be like a world-class athlete racing in front of thousands, or, you know, there's millions of people back home who have invested interest in how our athletes perform. And so it adds pressure to it, and it adds heat and hype. And so people kind of speak and do things in the spur of the moment, which... yeah, you don't want it to happen too often because it kind of will show someone's true colours. But let's hope his apology's sincere. And like I said, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt that it is. The problem is if it starts happening too often, then it's not. But I'm sure he'll have learnt the lesson, and we'll both move forward because that's what we need to do.
So it won't affect your relationship moving forward?
No, I'm quick to forgive and forget, and we'll both move forward, I'm sure, and we'll see each other at next World Cups, World Champs, and hopefully a couple medals more at Tokyo 2020.
Anton Cooper speaking a short time ago to our reporter Joe Porter, and before that Sam Gaze, of course, talking. We're going to bring Joe in now, who's joining us live via Live View from the Gold Coast. Boy, they were a couple of fascinating conversations, Joe. Tell us about that fine. What's that about, and whose fine is it?
Well, it's a fine that's been handed down to Sam Gaze from the UCI, who are the International Cycling's governing body, a $280 fine, and it's for the gesture, for flipping the bird, to put it euphemistically, after the line towards his teammates. So it's for the gesture rather than the comments, and it's a similar fine that was handed down to a rider called Jason Christie, who won the Nationals earlier this year in New Zealand and performed the same sort of act. So that's what the fine is for, and it's basically a slap on the hand for saying this is not what we do in this sport, and it is not a good show of sportsmanship.
Sam Gaze has another race tomorrow, Joe, not at the Commonwealth Games. And this is fascinating because of what's required of him, right?
That's right. So he's in the road race tomorrow with the New Zealand's men's road race cycling team. He's playing a bit role, so to speak. Jack Bauer is the lead rider within that New Zealand men's team, and they perform as a team, and they try and get Jack into the best possible position near the end so that he can then fight for a medal. So Sam Gaze really quickly needs to put this behind him because it's been affecting his sleep last night, and as he mentioned to me, if he can right the wrongs of yesterday, it will hopefully give him a good sleep and therefore lead him to perform better in tomorrow's road race. So certainly a lot going on in his head. He's trying to grow as a man. He made a big mistake, but let's hope that he can move on from this and I guess come out tomorrow and prove why he deserves to be on this team and prove why he is a good teammate.
Joe, that is the events of the past couple of days, or the past day. Gosh, all of this has happened very fast. Let's look at today. Troy Garton won bronze in the 60 kilos women's boxing. And I think people had expected Troy would appear in the medals somewhere. Also expected to appear in the medals is Eliza McCartney and Dame Val, who are both on tonight, up tonight, aren't they?
Absolutely, another big night at the athletics track out at Carrara Stadium. Eliza McCartney, she used to be an underdog, but after her medal performance in Rio, she's certainly not here. She's a favourite to win gold and certainly medal in the pole vault, of course. And Dame Valerie Adams, well, a fantastic story. Like we mentioned yesterday, only 6 months after giving birth to her first child, she's back in the mix with all the top-class athletes. She threw the biggest throw in qualifying, and we're expecting another gold medal from her tonight. A little bit of extra pressure. Grant Robertson and the Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern are going to be in the crowd at Carrara Stadium, so some big names supporting some big names out there, and it's going to be another big night on the athletics track and field for the New Zealand athletes. Another 2 medals, you'd almost say all but guaranteed.
Ooh, yeah, it's very exciting. I wonder if Dame Val even feels the pressure any longer. This will be her 4th gold if touch wood she wins it. It's going to be a very exciting night. Joe Porter, you're doing such great work for us over there. We really appreciate it. Lovely to talk to you and enjoy watching those women be quite extraordinary later on the Gold Coast. Joe Porter joining us live. We'll go back to the Commonwealth Games if anything develops while we're on air, but both Dame Val and Eliza McCartney are on later.